Hi, I'm Shay Larkin and thank you for watching. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I'm a bankruptcy attorney here in San Francisco, and for more than 20 years I've helped clients file Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy cases. In this video I'm going to talk about bankruptcy and coronavirus. Of course, the whole entire world is being affected by this devastating epidemic, coronavirus, right now, and I, like you, am sheltering in place, and to the extent that I have clients that need help, I'm helping them electronically and by telephone. We're not meeting in person. You may not know this, but probably every piece of the bankruptcy paperwork can be done electronically. It does not have to be done in person. So if you absolutely feel the need to file bankruptcy during the course of this pandemic, rest assured you can do it remotely with your attorney. You do not have to meet your attorney in person. And in fact, the courts have relaxed some of the requirements to make this easier. They used to require attorneys to obtain what we call blue ink signatures from our clients, but now the courts are allowing electronic signatures on bankruptcy filings instead. And a lot of the court appearances are being continued, and to the extent that they're still having court hearings, these are done telephonically. As for the bankruptcy hearings, which are not court hearings, they're meetings with the bankruptcy trustee, these are being done both telephonically and via Skype and Zoom. I have 3 upcoming hearings that are all being held by Zoom. Zoom is a new experience for me, so I'm kind of excited, but it seems my clients are more up to date and have used Zoom before, so that puts my mind at ease. I wanted to talk to you about the coronavirus stimulus bill because there's actually some provisions in this bill that apply to bankruptcy. This is called the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act, otherwise known as the CARES Act. And I want to go over the parts that pertain to bankruptcy. One of the provisions only applies to Chapter 11 bankruptcies. I don't handle Chapter 11 bankruptcies, so I'll mention it just so the people out there who need information on Chapter 11 know. I do 7s and 13s only. So the CARES Act amends the Small Business Reorganization Act of 2019 to increase the eligibility threshold for businesses filing under Subchapter 5 of Chapter 11 of the Bankruptcy Code from $2,725,625 of debt to $7.5 million. So this eligibility threshold will return to $2,725,625 after 1 year. So this basically, for businesses and individuals that need to file Chapter 11, it increases the debt threshold, so it's easier to get in the door. And the next change I want to talk about is the definition of income as defined in the Bankruptcy Code has been changed for Chapters 7 and 13. Those are the 2 types of bankruptcies I do, to exclude coronavirus-related payments from the federal government from being treated as income for purposes of filing bankruptcy. So that's good news. That means that stimulus money that you're getting, hopefully, will not be counted on the means test. It'll be excluded. Alright, the next change I want to mention is the calculation of disposable income for the purpose of confirming a Chapter 13 plan shall not include coronavirus-related payments. Good to know. And lastly, this provision explicitly permits individuals and families who are currently in Chapter 13 to seek payment plan modifications if they are experiencing a material financial hardship due to the coronavirus pandemic, including extending their payments for up to 7 years after their initial plan payment was due. So this is huge because you may already know this, but Chapter 13 plans have to be normally completed in 5 years. All payments have to have been made within 5 years of the initial first payment. But this allows you to stretch it out to 7 years, and sometimes that's necessary because maybe you're already in a 5-year plan and you can't stretch it out further, but maybe you have secured debt or priority debt that needs to be paid in full, or you're in a 100% plan because you have non-exempt assets, so you have to pay a certain amount into the plan and there's no way to make it cheaper. But if you stretch it out, then it will be cheaper. So this is a way that you could stretch it out to 7 years, and by doing that you could probably have a series of months where you have no payment at all, and then once you get back on your feet you could resume making your payments. So that's really good news. So those are the key bankruptcy provisions of the CARES Act. And don't forget that even self-employed people can now apply for unemployment if you've suffered income loss due to the coronavirus epidemic. And many people are going to be eligible for a stimulus payment from the IRS. I believe this is going to be a tax refund offset next year. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I wanted to go over these things with you today. Probably if you are thinking about filing bankruptcy now, you should hold off and see if things get worse. Remember, you could only file Chapter 7 once every 8 years, and you don't want to use up your one shot now. If things are going to get worse, you might need that one shot later. So hold off and see how things play out during this crisis. And if you feel like you can't wait any longer, then certainly feel free to give a reputable bankruptcy attorney a call. Remember, in many states, there's a moratorium on evictions right now. At least here in San Francisco, they've banned evictions for 60 days at least. They may be extending that. So don't worry if you can't make your rent payment. I think that's the way it is across this entire nation. And I believe if your mortgage is a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac mortgage, they are waiving mortgage payments, but you have to ask for it. They're not doing it automatically. And even if your mortgage is not a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac mortgage, call your mortgage company ahead of time if you know you're not going to be able to make your payment, and they have to work with you during this difficult time. So I think now is probably not the best time to file bankruptcy in many situations, but if you are experiencing a financial emergency, if you are experiencing a financial emergency like a car repossession or a foreclosure sale, then by all means contact a bankruptcy attorney, but don't otherwise feel the need that you have to rush into bankruptcy right now. Bankruptcy will be there after this crisis is over, and you might need to wait just so you can make sure that you can discharge everything that you're accumulating during this time. Alright, thanks for watching. Watch my other videos and have a great day.